Hello guys, welcome to the video. In this session, we're gonna talk about accounts. So accounts are basically, a way to centralize your passwords and SSH key pairs and other, tokens that are sensitive. And if you want to manage them centralized in a centralized way, you can use the accounts section. So you have to go to infrastructure and then you need to click on accounts over here. And we had already in our previous videos added some SSH key pairs as well to connect with our different instances that we just spin up in the AWS. So in this video we're gonna add our AWS access and secret access key. So for this you have to click on add account and you have to click on AWS account over here. Alright, so now you need to name it. So I'm gonna name it as AWS Shiraj account, and then you can add some description over here. And now over here you have to add the access key and the secret access key. So to create a access key or a secret access key, you need to go to AWS console. Over here you have to search for the IAM, which is Identity Access Management Service of AWS. So over here you have to click on users, and we're gonna create a new user for our Octopus. So let's create a user Octopus. Alright, so we're gonna give programmatic and AWS console access. I think console access we can skip as of now. So let's move with the programmatic access. We're gonna click on next, and then we're gonna click on attach policies, and we're gonna give S3 access to our Octopus, so that our Octopus can access the entire S3 storage part. So you have to click on next over here, and then we're gonna create this user. Alright, so our access key and secret access key is basically got generated for our new user Octopus. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just copy this access key from here, and we're gonna paste it under the access key over here in the account section. And for the secret access key, you have to click on show, and I'm gonna copy this over here. Alright, and over here you can select the environments, under which environment this key can be used at later stages. So in our case, let's select as of now like all the environments, and then at the later stage you can manage which particular environment can have an access on this particular key. So you have to save over here. Alright, so your AWS account is created now with the name of AWS Shiraj account. Let's move to the project section where we're gonna use this. Alright, so I'm gonna add a new step over here, and under the script section we're gonna select run an AWS CLI. Alright, so over here we're gonna name it as list buckets, and then you can decide you want to run this on your deployment target or your you want to use your workers. So over here I'm gonna use my worker, and it will be using from the my pool. And then over here I'm gonna select this use AWS tools pre-installed on the worker, because when we created an EC2 we had used Amazon machine image to create this worker. So it's already having the CLI pre-installed on the top of it. And here is a thing like AWS account details we need to add. So it's asking us like do you have like the role attached with your EC2 or not. So in our case, like our machine or the worker is not having any role attached to it, but we're gonna select our account variable over here with which it's gonna have the access to the S3. For this you have to click on add over here, and you need to convert your AWS account that you just added into a variable, and then you can use it. So over here we're gonna name it as AWS S3 account variable, And over here you have to click on open editor. Under the text we're gonna select AWS account, and once you click on it you have the options for your AWS account over here. We just created AWS Shiraj account, so we're gonna click on it and we're gonna click on done, and let's save it as it is. What are variables, how to use it, how to define the scope, we're gonna cover this in a different video. But as of now I just created a AWS variable, and I mapped that variable with the AWS account over here. Alright, so let's give a refresh over here, and we're gonna select the account variable, and now you need to define the region. So I'm gonna give US East 1, and then you can give your command over here. So in our case we are trying to list all the buckets of S3, so let's give AWS S3 ls. This is a command from the AWS with which you can list your all the buckets in S3, and it's time to save this. Alright, so our step is created, list buckets, and we are using a worker from my pool, and then we had attached account variable over here, which is basically referring to our AWS accounts that we just created, and the region we set is US East 1, and under the command we are giving AWS S3 ls, which gonna list all the S3 buckets for you. So let's create a release now. Alright, so we're gonna click on deploy, and under the pre-prod we are going to deploy this release. So now it's running. Alright, so our release is completed now on pre-prod. Let's click on task log, and over here you can see the results of all the steps, but we are interested in step 4 where we just try to list the buckets. So as you can see, my all S3 buckets are listed over here whatsoever already created in my account, and this is basically happened because of we added account over here, and we given the grant to list or to access the S3 on this account, and then under the step that we just added under this echo project we had given the same account reference under this step. So this made it possible to access the S3 buckets over the AWS, and now we are able to list our S3 buckets of a particular account. So that's it guys for this video. Thanks for watching.